Hello, everybody. Today's Tuesday, the 12th of December. It's now a few minutes before 2 GMT. This map is taken from The Economist magazine, and it shows us that where the red is reported Israeli military operations as of a couple of days ago, a little less than 2 days ago. Gaza City is pretty much is entirely surrounded. There's nowhere for them to go. And Khan Yunis is also largely surrounded as well. The Kerem Shalom crossing, which has excess aid processing capacity, is waiting. There's a pileup of extra aid in the Rafah crossing. It's not getting through because the humanitarian agencies can't distribute it properly. They can't ship it. The Israelis have more capacity to inspect than the aid agency has to pass it on to them. And there's tons and tons and hundreds, thousands of tons of stuff waiting to be transferred. Just a couple of things. The the destruction, of course, is pretty widespread. This table shows us that by the 5th of December, almost 20%, 17.4% of the housing stock was damaged. Internet connectivity is down to, somewhere around 25% of normal. Um, and the death toll, of course, is quite huge, if you can believe this. But even if it's half of this, it's still outrageous on both sides. Um, but the good news is that the enemy seems to be surrendering. The They're laying down their arms. They're coming out of the woodwork and the ground and the tunnels, and they're surrendering. So that's a great sign. There's no sign of the hostages. There's no sign of any abatement in the fighting. That remains to be seen. Current casualty count, as I last recall, is about 90 Israeli soldiers, about 600 or so injured, 90 killed, and 600 or so wounded so far, which is high. And the situation in the overall region, the Houthis are really, really starting to turn up the heat. They've attacked vessels in the Red Sea, in the Gulf of Aden. The U.S. Navy is here in heavy presence in intercepting, either assisting these ships getting through to safe passage, taking out the missiles that are being fired. And again, they can fire, they can cover this 2,000 kilometer range, this 1,200 mile range from Yemen to our neighborhood, and they have that capability. So the Iranians are oh, pardon me, the Iranians are behind that, of course, their fingerprints are all over that. The Houthis don't manufacture those kinds of weapons themselves. And interestingly enough, on the northern front, which from what I'm hearing, my ears are to the ground about this. They're going to take the Israelis are definitely going to take out Hezbollah at some point. Why Hezbollah is waiting and keeping things on this growing simmer, by the way, the simmer is rising pretty much every day. The attacks, while small scale compared to the arsenals involved, are escalating. They're attacking positions near the UN observer locations. They're using heavier weapons. The Israelis are responding with heavier handed responses using Air Force and large bore artillery. So it seems to me that um, the Israelis will have, for some inexplicable reason, the luxury of prosecuting the northern threat once the southern threat is subdued. I could be wrong, of course, but it looks like they're saying they could wrap the operation up by the end of the month. It's 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now. They're making good progress, but keep in mind their goals. It's to destroy Hamas, get the hostages back, and make sure there's no threat from there. They're not there yet. Um, my suspicion is San's prisoners that they've got to. We've got 250,000 of our own displaced refugees in the country. We've got to get them back home, and doing that is going to mean, a lot of them come from this little area below this white line here. Um, there's all Kiryat Shmona, an entire town was evacuated. There's 250,000 internal refugees, and they're threatened largely by the hundreds of 150, 120,000 missiles just ready to go here in southern Jordan, which just strikes me as an intolerable situation whose time for removal could not be better than now. So that's the way it looks from now. I'm sorry I haven't been in touch, but no news is definitely good news. Yochi is still at sea on the Gaza coast, um, and 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 yeah, that's the situation from here, lady. Eddie is still on duty. He's not on the front, thank God. He's training and instructing troops in the latest that they need to know before they go into the field. And that's it for here, ladies and gentlemen. So stay informed, stay strong, and stay in touch. Bye bye for now.